be that big carry. If you can get them to the late game, then Megumin and Sanctu take over. But for the early game here, a lot of pressure on Swamp.
Yeah, I do feel legally obligated to obviously point out that you are the resident AXIZ copium dealer, right? So, you know, I'm taking it with a grain of salt, but you definitely do make some good points, right? And I mean, we both saw and how hyped you were about that Sanctu pickup with the Sivir. We just saw how it performs into the Zero as well. Now, of course, you've got that Alistair in the mix. Do you think that's going to change it up at all, or is it still going to be fairly effective?
So no, I actually think the Alistair isn't going to do diddly squat against the Sivir whatsoever here, because Sivir's spell shield is still a thing. Granted, they've changed it. It doesn't refund you mana, but it does give you healing now. And with the whole Alistair combo, you know, hit but pulverize, getting that spell shield is pretty important in order to kind of deal with that combo here. So I'm still liking this Sivir bot lane very much so for AXIZ here. And more than anything else, I just want to see Sanctu on a champion where he can carry. He still has the second highest kill participation of all players in the LJL at 82.1%, but he's been struggling to put out the damage because his team's not been able to peel or protect him as much. And we've already seen with the Sivir, there's a lot of self-peeling involved, or, you know, mobility, which allows you to position and rely less on your team.
True. Already AXIZ looking to put their foot down that they're not going to be trampled, getting that deep vision in. They do not care. They really just stared steel into the eyes like, yeah, we're doing this right here, right now. I like, you know what? I like to see it. Yeah, that's right. Hit them with the thumbs down. Taunt them all you want. You got to get that pressure going. You got to show them that we are not going to be bullied this time around when you're AXIZ.
Yeah, mental strength, but I am worried. I go, Yellow Yoshi probably should be the one giving the thumbs down. That's the one lane I'm super worried about, the 1v1, the isolated lane here. So feels a little bit, you know, maybe overconfident from Yellow Yoshi. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it's a psychological game, you know, bait out Evie to get aggressive and then have Swamp camp that lane. We did just see in the last game, level 2 gank coming in from jungler. So, hey, maybe you get Evie to overextend. Swamp, you know, top lane, not terrible place to look for a level 2 gank on a Vi.
Yeah, no, definitely, especially with the amount of level 2 potential that does come up from the Vine. As I say that already, these trades kind of going more Evie's favor, but Yellow Yoshi definitely still staying up to par here, getting that damage out here. It's just barely gonna get out of the range of that third Q coming out from Evie, but that would give an opportunity to Swamp, but it's looking to me like he's still just gonna continue pathing down and look to maybe prioritize getting that level 3 off in the mid or bot lane, or even 4.
Yeah, and there's the risk, of course, you know, that if you do go for that gank, it does set you very far behind in Pabi. We saw that last game as well, and with that ward that Steel got into AXIZ's red buff here, if you know that, hey, Swamp hasn't been here for a while, if he shows top immediately, I'd expect Steel to just go and 3-buff Swamp here. So that's kind of the trade-off, despite how low both top laners did get in. Now, you know, with all the pots being chugged, both top laners are fairly decent state, you know, above half health for now here. And Steel did start bot side in contrast to Swamp, so if anything, first gank might come through instead for TFM in that top lane.
Yeah, looking like it, but for now, everything's still pretty chill. Overall, though, like, you know, like you said, there's a little bit of hope for AXIZ. All right, there is they have a few of the stones. They've got Megumin right on this Victor. It's gonna take some time, obviously, for him to actually, you know, ramp up, get into the position you'd like to see him. But if Swamp can get a successful gank or two in, or just Megumin try and find a solo kill, I find that a bit less likely, but you never know. And I've seen crazier things happen. And then you have Sanctu as well on the server. You can get ahead as well. Then there's definitely an avenue that AXIZ can look to take.
Okay, even as the resident AXIZ copium dealer here, Echo, yeah, mid lane kill, solo kill from Megumin, not impossible. I mean, any other mid laner, I'd say maybe doable. Yaharong has only died twice this split. Like, this entire split here. We are on day 13. We are almost 2/3 of the way through the entire league. And he's only died twice. Once on day 4 to Burning Core, your team, and once on day 9 to V3. Other than that, he just doesn't die. So solo kill, if it happens, man, I don't care, win or lose. I'd be over the moon for AXIZ.
That's already okay. That's the win con for RMC here today. Just kill Yaharong. That's all you got to do, and you basically got the win. That's basically playoff secured.
Yeah, I mean, only two people have done it, you know, all split long. 5 people can say they've beaten DFM. Only 2 people can say they've killed Yaharong.
That's definitely a statement to make, as well as Evie Definitely needs to be a little bit careful here. Getting lower and lower, but for now, nothing really going on in this top lane. But look at just the amount of vision that's already been set up by DFM here. That entire top river is just, they have eyes everywhere. There is nowhere that Swamp really can go unless he threads the Nil perfectly and just makes me eat my words like he did just now. That was kind of clean. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty smooth, and he might just get rewarded for that. He's getting close to Evie. Might have to burn his flash here, but actually opts to not go for it instead. Meanwhile, on this bot lane, Sanctu getting lower and lower. They're not quite gonna find that kill though.
Yeah, really good senses in Ebby there to know to back out, because as you pointed out, they didn't actually see Swamp on any of those wards. He somehow threaded the needle there, and Ebby, you could smell the blood in the water. If Ebby hits 6, Yellow Yoshi dies pretty much. So really well played from Ebby to not overstay to back out. Oh, they don't. Did they know what Steel's in there? Okay, yeah. They know now. For a second, because of the pink ward, I thought they didn't see Steel. And Steel, good gank on the bot side, but Sivir's just so hard to gank.
Pulverize, though. Flash coming out from Sanctuary as well with the Ignite. Not quite going to find what they were looking for, but that is going to be a flash and heal out here for Ozuka and Sanctuary. So that might just open up an opportunity for Steel here. He's going to be hiding behind that wall. That control wood hasn't spotted him out yet. If they could just base Sanctuary in a little bit further, but nah, even Sanctuary, he's like, something's going on here. They're being a little bit too chill, and he's going to opt to back off.
Yeah, first gank, burn Ghost. Second fight, burn Flash. Sanctuary looks gankable, but even then, I feel like until Steel hits 6, there's just not enough CC to guarantee that lockdown on to this Sivir. So good attempt from Steel. He doesn't lose out too much either. He was invading, taking away camps from Swamp. So just generally very well played from DFM, and that will also reward them this dragon, because the bot side got pushed with that pressure, with that hover from Steel, because Steel gets the whole steal, and Yaharong as well, taking advantage of the early strength and shove potential that Azir has over the early victor.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little worried there for Swamp when I saw him charging up the Vault Breaker there. If he dashed in there, that would have been a bit of a bad situation. I will say, props to AXIZ. DFM being a team that has shown us that even early on, they're not afraid to just get in your face and get those kills early on. Have been holding their own fairly well. Have been, they've been putting their brain to work. They've been seeing these moves coming from DFM and have been responding accordingly, as we saw with Sanctuary in that bot lane, right? And so even 7 minutes in, it's still 0-0.
Echo, I feel like, you praising AXIZ is putting me in a bad spot, because now I need to talk about DFM. And got to talk a little bit bad about AXIZ here. Bot side, though, Yusufon getting poked out here, and Swamp hovering in the area, not 6 yet.
Ooh, this might just be what they're looking for. One more boom. Oh, the heal does come through, though, and the boomerang blade won't find its mark. And so Yutapon there, almost kissing death. It's just barely getting out of that one alive.
Damn it, Sanctuary, if you got that kill, I could be happy for us. But as it stands, this is the problem with playing against DFM. Even when they don't get a kill at all, even when they seem to be playing quietly, the pressure mounts in the other foot. The other shoe should drop. Mega Man. Oh, yeah. That's great.
Ooh, Degument just barely getting out of that one. That Shurima shuffle not gonna hit. Yaharon, what's going on, brother? What was that?
Hey, I said Yaharon doesn't die. I didn't say Yaharon gets all the kills. Also, but really well played from Mega there to dodge everything out. Did have to burn the flash, though. And keep in mind, Steel is now level 6. Does have the Cyclone. And we've seen dives come through from Wukong before. He's actually got quite a bit of burst damage to come through. If Yaharon can stack those Conqueror stacks in advance, dives is certainly not out of the picture.
Yeah, definitely not here. And we see the roams actually coming out here from Ozuka, gonna hop onto Swamp. Maybe they look to try and find something here with another roam coming through. Sweeper propped up as well. Want to make sure they don't get spotted out. And that ultimate is available here. If you think it's maybe Vault Breaker over that wall, or actually just gonna opt to just chill there instead. Looking to send it in. Are gonna go ahead and find that flash. Okay. Get the knock up. There we go. Looking for the kill. Yaharon. Can they find him? No, they cannot. And now Swamp running for his life. The double Cyclone and First Blood goes into the hands of Steel and make that 2. Actually, no, Yaharon gonna pick that one up and say, you cannot kill this man. Not today. Not ever.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Not ever. Yaharong should have been dead to rights. I mean, cease and desist is a point and click, and you'd think that, hey, there's no way you get out of this, but it kind of works. Now Sanctuary's in a bit of trouble without a support.
Yep, stuck under this tower, and he's got 3 people looking at him, waiting. The moment these last 3 minions fall, never mind, they're not even gonna wait for the minion wave to push. They try to push the minions back instead, and Steel gonna get himself that kill as well. Sanctuary knowing there's just nothing he can do. Doesn't have flash. I don't think he popped the ghost there. I think he popped it earlier. And so overall just goes down. Ozuka here instead now needs to try and just keep Utip on from farming some more plates.
I think he did actually pop it on that dive, which is a little bit unfortunate. You were already dead. You were going to leave a ghost anyways. They need to bend the summoner as well. But yeah, for AXIZ there, this is that moment where the other foot drops. The other shoe, pardon me, drops here. And you can see, I'm actually surprised Swamp went for this when Harp showed. Because if it was just Yaharong, then it's like, okay, we can do this. But when Harp is there with the Alistair, there's just so much CC to come through. I don't know how the fact that the hit butt actually came out kind of late there. And the fact that hit butt was held for that long meant there was really no point in time where Yaharong was really in danger, because you could have used it earlier to disengage Swamp. Instead, no, they were like, oh, we have enough, healing, we have enough damage, we have enough safety that we can afford to hold this and go for the kill with that hit butt instead of the peel.
Yeah, Yaharong was just smiling the whole time at him, and like Swamp's like, why are you smiling? You're about to die. And he's like, no, you. And then he just hits him with the Uno reverse, dude. And they just take him out. But overall, it's 3 kills now. 2 in the hands of Steel, 1 in the hands of Yaharong. So we're about 10.5 minutes in here, and now Harp, maybe see if they can find something. So much vision control, but that ward in the river, they do know Harp was there, but I don't think they know that Steel was there, as he was able to use that clone to get over the wall. Is going to get spotted out by that control ward though. Now Sanctu, they realize once again that they're in a bad spot here. Into the wall they go. Lightning crash, so much damage with the cyclone, and he's going to go down. They can't quite find Ozuka though. Turret damage diff are going to have to back off, but they get Sanctu, and that's more than enough.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well with this Alistair. When you hit 6 dives, becomes so much easier when he gets the unbreakable. Well, you can see how long Harp tanked that up, and Harp wasn't even in danger of going down there. But good play from Swamp to recognize that, hey, bot side, sorry, Sanctu, Ozuka, you're on your own. At least I'm going to try and take Herald to try and answer. It is a bit of a later Herald, though, and we'll have to see what AXIZ are able to find with it. They don't really have a good lane to try and drop it in, because they're now losing top, bottom, and mid as well.
Yeah, not the best showing, that's for sure. Could be worse. Could be a whole lot better though. I'm curious. Do want to get your thoughts on here with Swamp. First item being picked up is the chainsaw. How are we feeling about that one?
Yeah, so Melvin Izzle has been a great proponent of this and explained it quite a lot back on Sunday and Wednesday about the item efficiency of this, the gold efficiency of this item right now, 139%. And not only is it 139%, it's also really good against healing in general. Grievous wounds is a stat that is hard to come by here. And when you look at DFN's composition, we've already seen the passive healing from Alistair actually be pretty critical in that mid lane gank, and top side as well. Ebby is going to rush that Immortal Shield bow, so you're going to need that healing cut if you're going to gank that top lane. So it's a good item, first item to pick up. It's more efficient than Mythics. And now, if you have picked it up for Swamp, I do want to see some ganks into the top lane specifically, because Ebby, without the healing, is still vulnerable right now to these sort of ganks.
Yeah, he's not in that position just yet where he's just absolutely unkillable. So time's a ticking. That's all you gotta say. Time's a ticking, as it seems like Sanctu's time might be ticking as well. Never mind. Steel's gonna opt to go for the dragon. Said he's how gracious of him that he's looking to spare the bot lane a third time around as they do start up this dragon here. Swamp realizing that there's really just probably not too much that he can do. Maybe he'll try and go over the wall with the Vault Breaker. Gonna have to wait and see. Yeah, no. He's not going to go for it. Yeah, you got to give it over sometimes. It's only second dragon. It's not the end of the world just yet.
Yeah, but like you said earlier, Echo, the clock's a ticking here. There was no vision in that pit, and unfortunately for Swamp, you're running sweepers at this point, so you can't see it all. Megumin might be in trouble.
Oh my God, Megumin! I don't even gotta cast that. Yeah. That was Yaharong just being Yaharong. That was very nicely done. Gets in front of him, hits him with the Shurima Shuffle. Steel and Harp are there once again. They're like, hello, remember us? Remember what happened the last time? We all met in this lane? Yes, you died, and now you die once again.
Oh, come
Swamp!
on.
No.
Why?
Don't do Swamp like that. Hold up, though. They might try to at least get something. Your heart is taking so much. Finally goes down and goes into the hands of Sanctu. Trying to get 2 here as well. Needs one more there. And Yaharong falls. He finally goes down, and Sanctu can be the one to say he took him out.
Okay, I'm going to say as planned, Echo. Was it? I don't know, but we're going to claim that. I got so worried for Swamp for a second. We've seen Harp pull off these dives already. Like we said, post 6, Alistair, really good at setting up these turret dives. You cannot be under a turret 1v3. There's nobody on AXIZ side who can really get away with that here. But the follow-up, thankfully, was a lot better. And now for AXIZ, they have to keep in mind, the moment you see an objective go down like that, Dragon goes down as Megaman, you don't get to push up at all anymore because of the way Steel can get in there, because of the way Harp can get in there as well. And that one was so easy that Harp didn't even have to blow the Unbreakable Will. So Swamp comes in here, and look at the position of where Sanctuary and Ozuka are. They're so far behind. I didn't think this was going to work, but because of the Sivir ultimate, the movement speed boost, they just get there in the nick of time, and finding Harp, finding Yahorong, this is absolutely massive. I already said my one win con this game was kill Yahorong, and I'm happy for AXIZ. They are now the third team, third person, Sanctuary specifically, to actually find a kill in Yahorong.
Let's go. And you know what? I got to give props to Azuka where props is due. That final chapter as well. Making sure that there was nowhere Harp can go. You can only tank so much, even as the Alistair. And he just took one too many turret shots, goes down, transferred over to Yahorong. They grabbed that as well. And now they're already looking a whole lot better off. Still a 4K gold deficit at the moment. There's still 2 drags down. There's still a couple turrets down. But, you know, like I said, could be a lot worse. Could be better. Could be worse.
Yeah, and the fact that, you know, kills are going to Sanctuary, that's your big carry condition as well. So yeah, you're down 4,000 gold, but you're still in it to win it potentially for AXIZ now. The cull has been completed as well for Sanctuary on the Nyx back. I expect to see, you know, another big purchase pickup with that Kraken Slayer. And that 2-item power spike, that's when Sanctuary can potentially take over the game. Megaman, oh, this is a repeat of mid lane.
Yeah, Megaman, he's not even registering what's about to happen and what's about to befall him. It's going to go ahead. Actually, Steel getting scared off there, though, by the turret. They are going to spare him. They're just, at this point, they're just, like, prodding him. They're just making sure that he's scared at all times. They're not even going to kill him anymore. That way, it just makes the next time he dies even more traumatic. Like, come on now.
Yeah, the fear there, and the fact that Megaman's not responding to that is a little bit worrying for me. The fact that, you could see that. Oh, Yellow Yoshi, hello.
Yeah, okay. So much for that. He's going to get absolutely stomped in this lane.
What?
Down goes Evie. Yellow Yoshi not even taking a scratch. He just absolutely puts Evie into the dirt.
Yo, I want a replay of how that started, because by the time we got up there, Evie was half health, and that is not something you see every day. I mean, Evie usually wins the 1v1s, and Yone into Gnar as well does generally favor the Yone. It's very rare that the Gnar gets the drop like that onto the Yone, so I've got to assume that he was probably just doing the Krugs there, didn't pay attention. But now Yellow Yoshi, can he get out? Does still have flash.
It's not looking too good at the moment here. Yahorong's here. Steel is here. Everyone is there. It does go mega mode, and so he's a big boy. But is he big enough? I think not. Pushes him into the turret. Lets it finish the job. Down he goes. That will be the TP burnt, though, for Yahorong to get up there. And drag is up in 50 seconds. So maybe they're going to look to just go ahead, grab that Herald instead, and just allow AXIZ to set up control into this river. Because I do feel like DFM are still in the point where they can contest, and very nice read there by Sanctuary with the flash to not get knocked up there by Harp, and is going to stay alive a little longer.
Yeah, so flash is traded by Harp and Sanctuary there, but it does favor Harp because he does have the Hex Flash. For AXIZ, though, you saw for a second there that when the gank didn't come through, when Harp kind of got flashed on there, Sanctuary actually turned around and is doing decent damage onto Harp, and Yutapon can't even really step up into the Sivir right now. Sivir just wins that 1v1 trade between the AD carries. You do more. That was one of the changes they made to Sivir. The whole idea being that Sivir was supposed to be the highest damage AD carry if she can survive the short range that she has to deal with here. And already before that second item is completed, we're seeing that happen. Yutapon does have a Phantom Dancer, so he actually does have a bit of an item advantage and still can't win the 1v1.
Yeah, and now with Dragon being live, Herald is going to get dropped. They're giving AXIZ the choice. What will you do? Are you going to take out this Herald and relieve control of the river? The answer is going to be yes. No, they couldn't even stop it. It still takes out that mid-tier 1. And DFM, they're like, we don't even need control of the river. We're just going to keep pushing this lane, and you can come match us in this river if you want to fight. Evie does get taken pretty low, though. Half HP, does have his ult available, though. So he can definitely still make something happen here, and obviously, you know, Yon being Yon can heal up quite a bit. But AXIZ looking to maybe start this drag here are gonna have to back off though, and look at Harp's positioning already. He's looking for something. He's looking, he's waiting, he's thirsty. This drag is getting lower and lower. They need to do something now. They do steal it though. That's huge. They grab themselves a kill on Steel as well, and they back off. They got what they wanted, and they get out. Beautifully done.
Oh my goodness, Echo. My hopes are rising here, and I'm worried because It's looking so good for AXIZ here. The fact that they steal, Sangchu's able to get it as well. And the way that fight breaks out, you can see that DFM are struggling a little bit to get the engage. Ebby got chunked out before that fight started. And if you're looking at DFM right now, their forms of engage are Ebby, Steel, and Harp. Harp was looking for the flank, so he wasn't quite in position here to kick things off. And you can see that AXIZ is very aware of the potential for a flank. So they're just kind of stepping up here. And with that vision ward, with that blue trinket, Harp can't look for it. Ebby already got chunked, like we mentioned. And because Steel has to stay in the dragon pit to actually secure the dragon, they don't have a good form of engage. And so AXIZ gets to kind of just poke you out with that Sivir, with that Gnar, with that Victor. And by the end of it, when they get that steal as well, DFM just don't want to chase. It's a good call from DFM, but for AXIZ, this is absolutely massive that they stop the dragon stacking.
Yeah, it's big. The question is, can they translate that into anything? Because right now, Megumin is looking like he might be befalling the same fate that he's seen over and over, and he's not going to be the only one that pays the price. Swamp getting lower and lower. Doesn't quite go down. Seichu's here, going into the thick of things. Needs to definitely be careful. Has popped that ultimate, gets that spell shield down. They're trying to do their best. Don't quite have that damage that they need, but they are spooking them off. Evie looking to find something. They are going to go ahead and actually get that shield off on, I believe that was Utapon. And actually, are they? Oh, they're just going to go. They're just going to go for
yeah. Yeah, no, it's a great call coming through from DFM here, and it really feels like this is typical DFM. This is why they're top of the league. Their actions usually have multiple avenues for them to play with, and look at how quickly it's gone down.
Oh my god, and Evie knew that swamp was coming, actually misses the Fate Seal, but it doesn't even matter. That just buys DFM the time that they need to grab themselves that Baron and everyone get out and into safety. Swamp realizing this, him and the rest of the gang are just going to go ahead and look to push this mid lane, but Yaharong is like, no, this will not be happening.
Yeah, I did not think DFM could burst down Baron that quickly. Divine Thunder got nerfed on this patch. We're not seeing Kraken Slayer and Utapon. So it's Immortal Shield Bow, which means usually a bit less damage for both your AD carry and your top laner. But I guess when you've got 4 carries like that, you can burn down that Baron. And really well played to DFM for recognizing that, hey, we go for this top dive. If we get a kill, we get to push, we get to fall back on Baron. Even if we don't get the kill, we can go for Baron and Megumin. Oh, not like this, man.
No, Megumin, no. He doesn't even know what's coming. He thinks it's just Harp, but it's Harp and Co. Yaharong is here once again. Megumin running for his life out of the turret. He's like, please don't. No. He still goes down, though. He won't even get that turret as a consideration prize. Meanwhile, in this mid lane, we see the lightning crash coming. A lot of damage actually onto Heavy. He's going to fall. Sangchu getting lower and lower, though. Needs to be careful. He goes down, though. Swamp next on the list, and so is Ozuka. Yellow Yoshi, the last one standing here, goes mega mode. He's big, but is he big enough? No, sir. Because the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Down he goes, and that's going to be the ace of AXIZ.
Well, Echo, this is why it hurts to get your hopes up.
Just for that silence, I could just hear the hype just dropped instantly down.
Yeah, it's like everything looks so good for AXIZ. Actually was coming online. They survived the topside gank, and even if they lose Baron, you know what? I thought AXIZ could kind of hold it in, but that series of events, that's on AXIZ, right? The fact that Megumin's pushed up that far. Why? Why, buddy? Like, we literally just saw what happened the last time you pushed up that far. Like, you can't do that without backup. In the mid lane fight as well here, the decision for AXIZ to try and kite downwards towards Yellow Yoshi, I think really kind of backfired a little bit there instead of just trying to kite back into their turrets. The idea is good. When you have lost Baron, you want to find the picks. And because they're all squishies here, because Harp's not here, yeah, great, you burn down Ebby, but Utapon's free firing on your backline the entire time. Yes, Sangchu can win the 1v1, but when Utapon gets that big a lead and advantage on the early burst of damage because Sangchu was so focused on Ebby, well, you lose the resulting fight. And this game does feel like it's going to come down a lot to these AD carries, who's alive and who's able to pump out damage here. So if Sangchu's taking so much damage trying to kill someone else and Utapon's that healthy, DFM win. If both are equal, then maybe Sangchu and AXIZ can try and win some of these fights at least.
Yeah, at the very least, I can lift your spirits in the fact that, first of all, obviously, they did take a Yaharong. That's definitely a win in the book. And from the looks of it, you are going to be right with the over and under of 25 minutes, as we are already 24 minutes in that one push. Hey. Wasn't enough to finish the game. And so, Infinite Dodge, and I were going to have to take the L on that one. But for now, time's still ticking. And so the next drag is up. This one's going to put DFM on soul point. AXIZ, nothing really they can do. They can't step up. Look at that Harp. He knows that they can't step up. Just going to stand there as an absolute menace.
That's fine. You know what? That dragon was already lost to them pretty much here. So the fact that they stole the last one is massive by the fact that they don't have to deal with Infernal Soul right now. Ebby still struggling actually. Surprisingly here, can't really push too hard into Megaman. So that's another good point for AXIZ right now. For DFM to win, they're still looking at team fights here. Ebby isn't at a point where he can split push, and neither is Yaharong. And if we're looking at team fights, that's a chance for AXIZ to try and make something happen. We've seen Sangchu pop off. Megumin now with 2 items completed is at a strong point as well. That Chaos Storm can do a lot of work here. So for AXIZ, a lot of it's going to be trying to see how can we force a fight on our own terms here. It's been Swamp trying to find the engage so far, but I like to see Yellow Yoshi try and time that Meganar in such a way that he can get that critical, 3-4 man ultimate here.
Yeah, that would definitely be huge. I definitely think Megumin not pushing alone and dying might also be a good. That might be a good move. That might
actually fight.
That would definitely be nice. That Chaos Storm can only do damage if he's alive to place it. But you are correct that they need to just find that opportunity. They've shown us, right? They can do the damage needed, and they can make the place happen. We've been seeing, especially Evie has been being taken considerably low every single time that they fought, even down in that bot lane just like about a minute ago, almost actually going down, having that shield ball, obviously. But ultimately, even making him being 1 or 2, is still doing so much damage, hitting incredibly hard. And so it's AXIZ game to lose, but they can make something happen. They can definitely still find an avenue to get into this thing.
Yeah, and in a way, props to Evie, as much as I don't want to give it right now. Evie has only died twice, right? And for all that he keeps getting low, he is burning AXIZ's resources a lot of times, right? Like they're constantly going to try and deal with this unit. In team fights as well, like we saw on the last one, right? Sangchu had to overextend to actually find that last little kill on Evie. So even though he's not contributing maximal damage here, just being a distraction is a win right now for DFM.
And
being
a nuisance.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like it works. And for AXIZ, pardon me, I wish I could say the same, because Megumin having only 1 kill at this point is definitely not ideal. It's kind of like the V3 problem they had, right? Where Yu-Gi-Oh was doing the bulk of the damage, but they're not fighting around Yu-Gi-Oh. Likewise for AXIZ, Megumin does a lot of damage. You need to start fighting around him. And if Megaman won't play safe, then maybe the whole team needs to just go to Megaman and keep him safe regardless of what Megaman does.
Just start following him around. Like, what are you doing, guys? I mean, someone's got to babysit you, Swamp needs to be careful here. The Cyclone coming in, that's going to be a huge knockup coming through. Only going to find one, though. Fate Seals is going to go incredibly wide. He's not quite going to get... He does get punished for it. The boomerang from the other block finds him. Just absolutely beautiful. Taking him down. That's that first pick that they needed. That's the fight they were looking for. Can they translate that into more, though? They're going to allow DFM to push further up, but Yaharon going to go ahead and place a turret of his own that's going to secure their back line. And now it's like they're kind of, what's going on here? Like, wrong side, boys, wrong side, blue side, red side. They've turned colorblind. They don't know where to go. They're going to opt to go ahead and fall back into the river. Actually, going to look to start up the Baron here.
Have to.
Evie isn't up for another, 15 seconds. And so they do have that man advantage. Yellow Yoshi is moving up here, looking to just keep him there. Does have that mega mode, looking to go in. Only finds Harp with the stun. Is that going to be enough, though? It's a question. Lightning Crash going down. Yaharon with the Shurima Shuffle. A lot of low health bars on AXIZ. Down goes the first member. Down goes 2. Down goes 3. Sangchu, last one standing, needs to run for his life. Needs to pop the ghost. Is it going to be enough, though? It will not, because Yuta Pawn says, I'm the ADC here.
And this might be it here for AXIZ. DFM have already taken down that mid lane inhibitor turret. Only the inhibitor standing here. And with these death timers, even if AXIZ comes back up, they kind of need to wait for more members to come up. And I don't think they've got that time.
It's not looking good. I will tell you that. Swamp up in 6 seconds, and so with Ozuka, they need to get out of bed right now, and it's not looking good. They're up, run now. They won't quite find it, and with that, DFM will go ahead and take themselves this game.
You know what, Echo?